Vancouver, a wildlife biologist says an ailing female killer whale off the west coast of Washington state is slogging along with her pod, but is at times unable to keep up. A veterinarian was able to dart J50 with a broad-spectrum antibiotic on Thursday, but Brad Hansen, a U.S. government fisheries biologist, said she still appears tired and was even moving backwards with the current when she was seen on the weekend. Killer whale J50 off the coast of Washington state. The 3-1/2-year-old isn't taking part in socialization common to these whales such as splashing, playing and jumping. Katie Foster, NOAA Fisheries via the Canadian press. The emaciated whale is part of the endangered southern resident population, which has just 75 members remaining. Canadian and American experts are taking unprecedented action to help the young orca recover. Hansen said the 3-1/2-year-old isn't taking part in socialization common to these whales such as splashing, playing and jumping. However, experts are encouraged that she appears interested in hunting for Chinook salmon along with members of her pod, even though she hasn't been seen eating, he said Monday. Article continued. Bella Hansen said they were able to test a feeding experiment with members of the Lummi Nation, who released about 8 salmon from a vessel about 100 meters in front of J50. It wasn't clear if she ate any of those fish, he said. Read more. Young wild orca finally receives antibiotics from veterinarian team. Ailing orca spotted with mother west of Vancouver Island. Orca's tour of grief over after carrying dead calf around for nearly 3 weeks. Logistically, it was successful, Hansen said, noting the fish were deployed quickly. All in all, we were happy with that particular aspect of the plan. It's important to remember this type of thing has never been tried before and there were lots of things that could potentially go awry. Article continued below. The eventual plan, if necessary, is to feed the whale salmon with medication inside. The Canadian government hasn't been asked if the same such experiment can be carried out in Canadian waters. Hansen said experts realize that feeding J50 could lead to habituation. They've taken steps to avoid that by using a deployment tube to send out the fish so the whales don't make an association with people and vessels. These animals can be quite intelligent and they have very good eyesight, so they do pick up on these things very quickly, he said. Our concern is we're sort of in a situation with the condition of the animal that we felt this was warranted. Sheila Thornton, lead killer whale research scientist at the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, said officials want to ensure that any actions taken will benefit J50 while not having a negative impact on the rest of the population. At this time, we are awaiting the outcome of both the breath and fecal samples to see if there is further intervention required. Researchers were able to collect a few fecal samples from pod members on the weekend, but they are unsure if any of it is from J50. Deborah Giles, a biologist at the Center of Conservation Biology at Washington University, said they'll be able to conduct genetic typing to discover which whale left the sample and will be able to test for stress or pregnancy hormones as well as for nutrition information. Andrew Thompson, regional director for the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, said vessels on the Washington and BC coasts are being encouraged to stay well away from J50 and her pod. While regulations say all vessels must stay at least 200 meters from a killer whale in Canadian waters, Thompson said last week he'd like to see vessels stay 500 meters away.